Welcome to Insight Builder channel. Data leaders, ChatGPT automators, and Python enthusiasts, and my dear friends. Asking ChatGPT to list 3 ways to get free access to database server, and one method that ChatGPT did not list. And I'm going to target that method, and I'm going to get you an access to a database server for free. The challenge at hand. You are an experienced data scientist, analyst, programmer, non-programmer, business developer. You could be any of these people who have not touched a database till now, and you want to start learning. Where you start learning? So you know about ChatGPT nowadays, and you go to chat.openai.com. This place, you go to the chat.openai.com and you ask, okay, list me 10 ways to learn Postgres database. So you ask ChatGPT and it will list you. So it will say, okay, read Postgres SQL documentation, or go for an online course, read a book, attend a conference. All these things are the possible way of starting to learn Postgres. Okay, I don't deny that. But one of the most important point is you have to learn by getting an access to the database, right? So let us ask, list me 10 ways to get free access to Postgres database. Okay, again it will tell you, okay, get a local installation, go for a free hosting service, get a cloud providers free tier, you can get a Docker instance. In fact, all this are actually a viable option. So you can do a local installation on your own machine. It is viable. You can get a free hosting service. There are many hosting services that, like Heroku, that you can access and start working on Postgres. You can actually get a Postgres Docker container or use cloud providers free tier. Okay, but what it does not tell is that, yes, it is telling that use your own computer as a database server, but it does not talk about using cloud service providers. What is it called? Virtual machines. Okay, this is something that I want to target in this video. Okay, it doesn't share this. Even if you go, so this is in chat.openai.com. However, let me go to the presentation for a second. Okay, I mentioned clearly that start using ChatGPT API. Okay, and also keep the temperature 0. What I mean by this? Okay, the point I am trying to make here is that instead of actually using chat.openai.com, go to overview, that is platform.openai.com, get yourself an account there, and then inside that there is something called as playground, and go to that playground and use this playground to start prompting ChatGPT in a repetitive fashion. So if you reduce the temperature like this to 0, what it will do is you can actually tell that you are a experienced database engineer. Okay, and then you say that, okay, list me top 10 ways of getting access to Postgres database server. See, obviously we need a server, right, to learn about it. You can get all the free service anywhere you want. So I ask it and I keep the temperature 0, increase the maximum length to at least 800 to 1000. So depending on whatever you want, but at least it should be 800. Then submit. So it will list. So now here, if you see, it is actually giving a completely different interface, different data. Okay, because we are asking a different request to it. So here it is giving 10th as the cloud-based services. What is the question we asked? Top ways of getting access to a Postgres database server. But let me ask, okay, list me top 10 ways to get free access to Postgres database server. Okay, what is the difference? I am saying just free access. Okay, instead of getting access, I am saying free access. Okay, and I'm going to submit. First and foremost, Heroku. Second is SQL and ScaleGrid, Azure Database, Google SQL, Amazon RDS, OpenShift. So all these are actually, viable reasons, viable options. Okay. But what is one of the things that it missed is that all these things we can actually use it, but you have to have some kind of free plan or some kind of a setup with them. So like free plan for 1 GB, free plan for 20 MB storage, and this gives 10,000 rows. So all these are very minimal. Okay. But if you come down here, in case of Amazon, there is a very good 750 hours free plan with Amazon RDS. It gives 20 GB of space. However, you need to have a lot more knowledge about the database also. So you need to have some amount of grounding. So if you want to use this service, then I have a separate video. If you come to my channel, right? If you go into this playlist where I talk about powerful data pipelines, there I have two videos explaining how to get access to RDS and pushing data to RDS. So both of this I have covered. Okay. And the next option ChatGPT talks about is that where is it? We can actually get to use Docker. Okay, Docker is also one of the options. So Docker option we can also is covered by me. So you can take a look at this video where I cover the Docker option. So if you come down here, I extensively cover Docker option in this video. How to install Docker in your local machine and start using Docker Postgres image. So that is also covered here. Okay, these are two options. Now the third option that I wanted to target is that instead of actually using any of these free hosting services, we can get our own virtual machine on the AWS cloud. Okay, let us go back to the presentation for a moment. So the reply, so we saw that it says local machine is one of the way. Second is getting cloud-based services. Third is getting Docker container. However, there is one more way to use the cloud service only. Still we are going to use cloud service, but we will be using their compute service. So instead of getting their installed database server, we will get their basic virtual machine. Okay, and then we will install our own PostgresQL application there. So that is very simple actually. I will show you how it is done. You'll be surprised that is it this easy? But okay, that is always a bit of a challenge. Okay, so you have to get the free AWS account. Not just AWS account, you can get free Azure or Google, whichever account you have. Get that account first. Ensure you set up the budget for connectivity, for compute, etc. This is important for any of the cloud services, or else you will get charged like crazy because you will be asked to give credit card ahead of time. And then you need to use IAM account. Do not use root account. Use IAM account and then log into the service. And first, this is all common. Okay. This is all common, you have to do it, no choice. But then comes one optional choice that you create key pair. So this is required if you have to connect to the database or the instance from outside the AWS environment. Like from your local machine, if you want to connect, then you need this key pair. Then you have to create a Ubuntu EC2 instance and you have to install Postgres. So 5 steps to Postgres server, and you will get that done in. For this, getting account, getting the budget set, understanding and setting the budget and getting the login, it will take approximately 2 hours. Okay, 2 hours is more than sufficient if you have a good free time and good internet connectivity. Creating Ubuntu instance will take you less than 5 minutes, and installing Postgres will take you less than 2 minutes. And after that, you have the Postgres in your hand. So we are going to right now dive deep into how to get the I will also be helping you to create the key pair and also getting the Ubuntu EC2 instance and installing the Postgres. But the reason for actually creating this video is not just to show that there is a way to get the Postgres server, but it is a way to show you there is a way to practice. Okay, that is one of the major challenges that most of the newly minted data people are facing. So you have to have a place where you can practice, and there are so many services out there, but all these services provide very limited amount of space, limited amount of access, and they have lots of challenges that come into picture. Instead of helping you to practice and learn, there are certain places where you will get into a lot of unwanted financial challenges. AWS also has its own fair share of challenges. I'm not saying that it is all good. However, you can control. AWS has a shared responsibility policy. this is an interesting point. That is why I am, suggesting AWS. It actually tells you to take the responsibility also. That is something that I like from Amazon Web Services. And yes, guys, they give you access to their own hardware and their own cloud services, and they expect you to be responsible. Okay, and that is fair and share, right? And they are giving it to you for free for 12 months, and they are they are letting you to learn whatever you want. So it's a great service that they are offering also. So let us use it responsibly. So that is also the main intention. Now we have to practice. So where are we going to start practicing? So let us head to the Internet Explorer. If you want to learn more about how to actually start working with ChatGPT API, so if you are interested in that, as I told in the video, there is a separate playlist where this video is part of that playlist also. You will have an extensive understanding about that from these 3 videos. Okay, you will actually get a very good understanding how to use Python with ChatGPT API along with Jupyter Notebook in these 4 videos, and also how to do prompt engineering. And let us, without further, also start using platform as I already explained. Then let us go to AWS console. In the web console, this is how your web console will look. So let us go to the presentation once again. After you do these 3 steps and log into it, you will start getting a page like this. And in this page, you may not be having any of these things. So go to search and type EC2. And once you type EC2, you will get EC2 here, and click on the star so that it will get populated here and here. And click on EC2, that link. Okay. Now we are going to actually start the process. Okay. You can even time the video, so how much time it takes. Okay. I'll be taking 2 detours here. You have to create the key pair for connecting to the machine from external places. Anyway, we will not be doing that in this particular video. So you have to concentrate on these two links. Okay, let me zoom in a bit so that it will be easier for you to see. Yeah, you have to concentrate on instances and key pair. Okay, click on instances. It will open the instances. Okay, and already I have terminated these instances, so you don't need to worry about that. We will be creating a new instance. And before actually creating the instance, click on this place and click on key pair. Okay, you need to create a key pair. Okay, click on this key pair option. Close this and give a key pair name. If you are using, let us say temporary. Okay, if you are using Windows putty, then use .ppk. If you are using Linux, then use OpenSSH Okay, and then create key pair. It will ask you to save the key pair. So save the key pair. I'm not going to show this to you here because this is an optional step, so you don't need to worry about that. Let us go back to the earlier window. Okay, I have already created my key pairs. I'll be using Sunday Pen. This is the key pair I'll be using. And you might be wondering, okay, I'm showing you all these things. Will that be a problem? Actually, no. So this key pair is required to be present. Then only you will be able to connect to my instances, or else you will not be able to connect. So don't worry about that. And let us go back to this starting point. It will be empty for you. There is 3 instances in my account. It will be empty for you. So click on launch instance. And once you click on launch instance, you will see that it launches the window. So in the launch instance, give a name, Postgres server. Okay, and then select Ubuntu. Do not select Amazon Linux, select Ubuntu. Okay, and if you want to use Windows, use that, but I would suggest that Ubuntu Linux servers are usually Linux, so use Linux only. There are Windows servers. I don't suggest that for learning. Okay, so learn with Linux. Now select Ubuntu server 22.04. This is by default selected for you. Don't worry about that, and you don't need to change anything. T2.micro is what you need to use. See, this is free trial eligible. And next is key pair login. So you need to select a key pair. I am using Sunday PM. So in your case, your keypad name will be different. Okay. And ensure that you select this, because in the future, you will actually need this for connecting using SSH from outside. I will not show that process here. Okay. There is a different way to connect Ubuntu now. And in the network setting, allow for SSH traffic. Okay. Allow it from anywhere. Don't change it and create a security group as a new one. Don't use the existing one. It is difficult for you initially. Don't use that. And then 8 GB storage space is sufficient, and that is all. So after that, click on launch instance. That's it. This is how you launch the instance. And now you will see that you will be given an option to connect. Okay. Now the fun starts. Okay. Let us go to the presentation again. Okay. So what you have done, you have got the free AWS account, you have got the budget set, you have logged into the account, and you have created the Ubuntu EC2 instance. Now you need to install Postgres. But before that, I missed one step here. You have to connect to the Ubuntu EC2 instance. Why I missed it? Because it is so simple. Let us go back. All you need to do is click on connect to instance. So once the instance is up and running, it will show you successfully launched, and then connect to instance. Once you say connect to instance, it will open a new page. In the new page, what you do is there will be multiple options. In the multiple options, what you need to select is, I will show it to you in a second. It is loading. In that, you need to use EC2 instance connect method. Don't use SSH client. You don't need to use this currently. Okay. Don't worry about that or use that right now. Use this instance. Okay. And just click connect. And it will immediately open you the Linux terminal, Ubuntu Linux terminal on your machine, on your browser, not on your machine. This is still working in the browser. This terminal is inside the browser only. Okay. And this is totally cut off from your machine to this particular server is totally cut off. There is no link. Okay, don't think that your machine and this machine is linked in some way. It is not. It is completely cut off. And you are a root user here. Once you get the access, you start typing sudo apt update. These are two. Sudo apt. I'm not talking in the middle because it's becoming difficult for me to type. Yeah, this command you need to use for upgrading the system, and you need to use the switch -y. So plus enter, it will start upgrading and updating. So let me come back once it is done. Once the upgrade process is done, you will get an option, you will get a window like this. Just click on that window from using your mouse like this and press spacebar on your keyboard. And after that, again, you will get this kind of a window. Press tab, it will highlight OK, and then press spacebar on your keyboard. Now your machine is updated. Okay. Next, what you need to do is again type sudo apt install PostgresQL. Okay. This is where you install Postgres. So it will install and it will ask you like this. Say yes. Okay. And it will start installing. So let us go to the presentation for a moment. So now we have got the EC2 Ubuntu instance, we connected to it and we install Postgres. Okay. Now we have to start working on that. It is as simple as that, right? So I told you it is so simple. In less than 20 minutes, yeah, you have to add another 2 hours to your getting the EC2 AWS access. So you will get some window like this. Just press spacebar, it will be okay, and again it will say press OK. So now you will be able to connect with Postgres directly. So let me show you how. What you need to do is, first and foremost, you need to do sudo u and Postgres, and then use psql. This is a command line application for connecting with Postgres database. Okay, no one is going to teach you command line interface. Okay, why? Because everybody says that command line interface is difficult. I actually disagree. I say one of the best way to work is command line interface, and you can do a lot of automation. You can have a fun time in the rest of the time that it provides to you. Okay, so use command line interface, learn the commands, learn the processes, learn Python language, learn programming. Okay, that will be all helpful for you for your future projects and future work. Now, PSQL is the command line interface. I am going to change myself into Postgres user. So in Linux, there are multiple users. Okay, and Postgres is one of the users. After I install PostgresQL, Postgres becomes one of the user. And then using this command sudo u Postgres. So I am becoming Postgres user, and then I am going to connect to PSQL. Okay, this is how you first connect to PSQL. Once you connect to PSQL like this, then first and foremost you need to set the password. Okay, set the password, give a easiest password, 1 2 3 4, that's it. Don't make it so complicated. Anyway, you're going to can delete this instance in after you learn this. Now after you do this password setting, right, come out of this. Okay, why? I will tell you. You have to come out of this because you are actually okay, where it is, where is the command? Yeah, here. So you are actually entering this particular SQL application through Postgres user. This is not considered secure. And you might be wondering, okay, nothing is considered secure here. This is only for learning, right? But there are at least basic things you need to ensure that you are not making mistake when you're talking with someone more experienced. So you should know these small details. So they will be able to immediately gauge your ability to take care of the system by using by these simple details only. Now we are going to use a different command. So we are going to say psql -u. So this is how you will usually log into the Postgres database. So H is localhost, okay, and you need to press W. Okay, so PSQL is the command line interface. User is -u. H is host. So Postgres is the user. Local host is the host. This particular host that you are in. In your office, in your work environment, or if you are working with any of the cloud services, you will be given a host name, okay, and you will also be given a different username also and a different password. All these three things only will be provided to you. The rest of the things no one will tell you. Okay, it is taken care by someone else. So here you are doing everything by yourself, and in less than 2.5 hours. So you have to install, get the AWS service up and running, and then you can do how many Postgres databases you want for free. No one is going to ask you for 12 months. Okay, that is very important. Now I press enter, I say 1 2 3 4, and then I am into my database. So now I will show you some basic commands. So create database, and let us say my new, okay, let us say new database. Okay, new data will be okay. New data, and I'm going to connect to new data. It will ask you again the password. Okay, so give 1 2 3 4. Now you are in new data. So you see here it is becoming new data. Now you are going to create a table. So create, oh, hold on. So before I create the table, let me actually show you to see the databases inside the database server. So this is how you see the databases inside the database server. Okay, you see the new data available. In your case, it might be a different name if you are given a different database name. This is a database server. Database server will contain many databases. So understand one thing, database server is like your Windows operating system or a Windows server. It is just that the way the database server operates is little bit different from the way Windows operates. It's a different software. Okay, internally each and every database is a big folder. Inside the folder there are multiple small folders for tables. This is how database works. However, you will not be able to see these things unless you actually dig deep into the location where the database files are, the folders are. It's not easy to access. You will not be given access also because it's very sensitive. Okay, it's like opening your car engine and looking at the pistons. I mean, no one will allow to do that, and you shouldn't also. You are not a trained mechanic, then don't do it. But here you are actually getting trained to be a mechanic. So that's why I'm telling you all these things. Okay. But yeah, here you can actually try it also. After this, if you want, you can explore in the internet and find out how to find the files in the database server. You will be able to find out. That is for your exploration. Create table. I'm going to say new table. Okay, I'm going to create new table. I'm going to say ID, serial, and name varchar. This is how you create a table in the database. And then I'm going to say insert into new table. I am going to insert name, and the values is, hey, hold on, why am I typing wrong? Okay, values is Superman. Why not? and second is Batman, and third is Wonder Woman. Okay, and who else is there? Okay, so these three I'm going to press enter, and will it work? There will be an error. Okay, but let us see. There will be an error, so why should we see that? Actually, you cannot give it like that, so you have to space it with comma like this, and then only you have to provide, because each is a separate tuple. Okay, so it got inserted into 3. So I was planning to show the error, but anyway, if you want, you can I can show it to you. So what will happen is, if you remove this brackets, it will actually expect that I am creating a row with 3 columns. So this is like creating row with 3 columns, but here actually I don't have 3 columns. I have only 1 column, that is name. So if I press enter, see what happens. So it will say that has more expressions than target columns. So the target column is only name. Okay, anyway, so the best way to learn is to break it. So select star from new table. This is how you select the table, and you press enter. You see that the 3 names are entered here, and this ID is getting populated by automatically because I selected serial type. The column type is serial. The next point is that how to see the table. So by doing /d, you can see the table. By using /d, you can see the table. By using /l, you can see the databases. Okay, understand the difference. And by if you use /d and the table name, so if you give the table name, new table, you will see the details of the table. So you will see the column details, the type. So ID is integer, name is serial, and ID is a sequence. So new table sequence, it will automatically populate. You don't need to give the ID. And in order to, I showed you how to create the I showed you how to create the database. I showed you how to list the database, how to create the table, and now I am going to show you how to drop the table. So drop table, new table, and drop database, new data. So okay, why I am not able to drop? Because I am actually inside the database, so I cannot drop it. So connect to Postgres, the starting database, and it will ask you for the password. Give the password, and then now you can actually drop the database. So it will drop. This is how you actually let us go back to the presentation. So this is how you actually get the access to Postgres database server. And I am not actually going to touch how to change the settings and connect from the external machine in this video. I will have a follow-up video which I will be linking to this video also in the future. Take a look at that. It will be hosted in this channel. So I will be hosting it in this particular playlist. So I'll be hosting it. Yeah, I'll be hosting this playlist. So where you can actually get access to it and you can check it. So that is an easier way. And let us go back to the presentation. Here, finally, so we have actually seen one of the, what I told, one method of ChatGPT that did not list, one method that ChatGPT did not list for getting the free access to dbserver. And this dbserver, we also learned how to install Postgres also. How wonderful is that? You can actually practice. See, you saw the way I was typing all those commands. That is because that I've been practicing it for quite some time. So that is possible for you also. That is the intention of this video. I want everyone to be really master of the technology. As the artificial intelligence era is dawning on us, the basics that we are sharing right now, the basics of installing the database, how to work with Linux, all these things are way more important. And also working with Python programming language and automating stuff that you will see in these especially in this list of videos that I am creating here. The intention is to ensure that maximum number of people understand how to do automation with Python, ChatGPT API, Hugging Face API. There are other APIs also available, SERP API. I'll be covering those things also in near future. All those things are important. So I hope that you guys like this video. Do share it with others who are actually looking for coming up to speed with database, and do subscribe to my channel for updated videos that you will get in near future. And yeah, stay tuned for the next video, guys. Till then, practice. Just a minute. What I mean to say that before you leave, that ensure that you are practicing, and have a great time.